Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Nate Imbuzeiro of Northville Boys Basketball. How's it going?
It's going good, Casey. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. I know at time of recording in early October, I know we're in the middle of fall ball and figured we'd catch up with you. How is the off season going right now? I know we're still whiles away from the season starting. But how are things going so far, Nate?
Well, even though it's still a while from the season starting, I think all of us guys are just really looking forward to that season, already putting in work, already getting in the gym. We're all so eager to start the season. We just can't wait. So in the meantime, we're putting in as much work as we can, and we're all very excited.
Yeah. I think that, I know last year, you had your ups and you had your downs, but it was still a really solid season, for you guys. Any time in this division, you never know what's going to happen. But really just, what was last season like for you and how did you really grow in the off season coming off a really good year?
Well, last year was definitely a great experience for me, just seeing the varsity speed and the level and everything that being on varsity meant. It was kind of eye-opening, and it was really nice to play against all these teams and get that experience. So then for my junior and senior year, I'll be ready. But coming off into the off season, I definitely just worked on trying to be a three-level scorer, like getting better at attacking the basket because majority of the time I was shooting threes or getting pull-ups. So if I'm getting better at attacking the basket, it's just going to make it harder for people to guard us. So that's definitely one thing I've been working on. Also, trying to get faster and stronger, just overall quicker. So, yeah.
Um, coming into this year, what were some of the things that you really wanted to improve at this year, and what do you feel like you accomplished during the off season and all that?
Well, I really wanted to start building chemistry with all the guys, even like the underclassmen too. I wanted to make sure we really had a full program, like full depth with everybody. So trying to have workouts with younger guys, older guys, make sure everybody was included. Work on getting our shots intact, making sure we're not making a ton of mistakes. Just trying to prepare ourselves the best we can for this upcoming season.
Yeah. So, so really, I know we're only in there, but I'm sure you've taken a look at the schedule and you know what this season's going to be like. The first month is kind of games are all literally all over the place, and then you really get into the conference schedule once the holidays are over and the new year, we go to the new year. Yeah, so what are the next really just few months are going to look like for you to kind of get ready for that big stretch? And I know it's a few months away, but it'll be here before you know it.
Oh yeah, that time is gonna fly by like like that. So in the meantime, you just got to be getting up shots, working with the boys, getting our lifts in, trying to have some player-led practices so we can get our chemistry down, run some plays, make sure, we all know what we're doing when it comes to the season, so we're all prepared. And yeah, just in the meantime, just got to put in all that work, got to make sure our bodies are ready, we're in good condition, we're in good shape. So there's nothing we're lacking when it comes to game time.
Okay. Obviously when you look at a program like Northville, it's been, it's been very consistent. Of course, Coach Sanders been there a very long time. Of course, frequent guest on this channel. What's that like to work with him and work under the system that you guys have ran for so long? What's it just like to be a part of this team and just be a part of this school?
Well, I mean, that's a great question because it's it's like every year, there's something new. I'm learning something new about the history of Northville, learning something about the old alumni. I get to play against old alumni because Coach Sander, he stays in contact with the guys he used to coach. So then I can learn more about Northville's past and get to see how good these players have been, how good some players who have gone through the program have really been. So then I can kind of compare myself and try to be one of the best players to come out of this program. That's ultimately my goal. So it's nice to have Coach Sander to kind of guide me and show me like what I need to be doing to keep my habits on par with my goals.
Yeah. Like how do you what how do you like mentally get ready for a game there, Nate?
I mean, I'll definitely be watching film before, like days before the game, so I know I can pick up some things on maybe the guy I'm defending because my coach will know our matchup, so I know, oh, he's gonna do this. I can do that, try to alter the course of the game just by watching film. I put my headphones in, I lock in. It's not time to be messing around before a game, I'm focused. I'm visualizing in my head what I'm gonna do, and then all I gotta do is execute.
Okay, how do you okay, all right, I must ask this. What's Nate listening to?
Uh, I guess it depends on the mood, but maybe rap music to get me hype. But if I'm feeling too nervous, then I maybe play some chill music to calm down and just relax a little bit so I'm not too anxious. But yeah.
Okay. So really, and we'll obviously talk to you as when we'll talk to you again once the season gets closer. But what are you really just gonna do for this next month, the next few months as we get ready for as you get ready for those first practices and obviously when the team is set and all that.
Well, I'm just gonna be, I'm gonna be hitting my lifts in. I'm gonna be getting my shots up with my guys. Um, some guys, Ryan Young and Simon Sondriel, they text me like, "Hey, you want to go get shots up?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." So we go to our coach actually has us going to a place called Ethos, and we get our lift in after school at Ethos.
Yep.
We go back to the high school, get shots up, and then we go enjoy our day. So just staying consistent with that is really gonna just benefit to our success in the season.
Of course, I know a lot of schools are doing that. I know the Southline. I know it's been a big credit to the Southline football team because I
Mhm.
know they just went to that. So, all right, Nate, we need to get to know you a little bit. How about that?
All right, yeah, let's do
Okay,
it.
I gotta ask you, who's your favorite player, just overall?
Ooh, that's a tough question. I got a lot of them, but maybe maybe Luka Doncic. I like Luka.
Okay. Um, all right, favorite team. This could be any sport and any really team.
Man, man, I gotta think about that one. Well, I love the Pistons just because we're from Detroit. We're near the area, but I also like the Knicks. I like their energy. I like their atmosphere, their fire. I like that.
Yeah. Um, what's your go-to place for food?
Hmm. Um, well, I love some steak. So there's a Brazilian steakhouse that my family and I go to. We love Brazilian steak. So, yeah.
And then finally, what's an interesting fact people may not know about you?
Well, one interesting fact is that I was actually born in Japan.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, so I don't know if you know your entire history. Like, how long did your were you living there at the time or just on vacation or what?
Yeah, so my parents had actually lived in Japan for 11 years. And then both my older sisters were also born in Japan. And then 6 months after I was born, we moved to the US to live closer to my mom's family because my mom's from the US, but my dad's from Brazil. So they had met in Japan, lived there for 11 years, and then we moved back to the US to kind of start the family. So, yeah.
Well, Nate, thanks so much for the time as always, and we will
Of
talk to you later on in the year.
course, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.